All right, in a move to stop the NSA from storing information from your personal home calls, the White House is expected to submit a proposal to Congress for phone companies to archive your records instead of the NSA. But can Americans trust this plan? Does that make every side happy? Senator Rand Paul has been an outspoken critic of the NSA spying scandal and joins us right now. Senator, are you going to be happy if they let the phone companies keep the metadata?
Well, I don't want to take all the credit for ending this, but I think our lawsuit had something to do with bringing the president to the table. Some of it depends on what actually happens. The interesting thing is he unilaterally instituted this program without congressional authority. Now he has to wait for congressional authority to undo it. I think he could unilaterally stop the program if he were serious about it. But I don't like the idea of collecting the data. If it's left in the phone company's hands and you have to have a warrant with an individual's name on it, then that I think meets the law, the Constitution. But we'll have to see what happens. The president sometimes says one thing and does another, so the devil's in the details here.
Have you talked to the CIA? Do they feel as though they need this mega data program?
Well, the interesting thing is I'm not sure whether to believe them or not. We have the CIA now illegally searching congressional computers, giving access and then removing access. And I really think that there needs to be an overall investigation of the intelligence community. I favor a select committee like they had in the 1970s, the Church Committee, to look into all of these, because I think there's a certain amount of arrogance here that needs to be checked.
So you see arrogance coming out of the CIA and the White House?
Yes, and the NSA, frankly. One of the NSA officials was asked before the House Judiciary Committee, he said, "Did you think you could get away with this forever?" And the guy smiled and said, "Oh, well, we tried." And that's sort of their attitude, that they're trying to do things that even Congress doesn't know about. That's not right, and that's not the way a representative democracy should work.
Right. I just know a lot of people. There's a lot of great people in the CIA and NSA who feel as though this program is necessary. Now let's talk about what the president's doing. He's going to be meeting with the Pope, and you want him to do something when he meets with the Pope.
Well, I guess maybe tell the Pope he's not going to spy on him anymore would be one thing. But I think second of all, he ought to explain to the Pope why he is telling businesses in America they can't remain true to their faith and stay in business. The Hobby Lobby case is being discussed today, and I think it's important that he tell the leader of the Catholic Church why he thinks that businesses owned by Catholics can't make their own decisions with regard to health care.
The Vatican's Chief Justice feels that President Obama's policies have been hostile towards Christians. Do you believe that?
Yeah, and I think this is something that really should be discussed in our country. Most of us, whether you're Republican or Democrat, believe in freedom of speech. We also believe in free exercise of your religion. But if they're telling you that your tax dollars have to go to something you find morally reprehensible, I think that's not free exercise of religion.
I'm not sure how you celebrated 4 years since the passage of Obamacare, but here we are. At the end of this month, will be the time to get that threshold of 7 million. The Democrats are pushing to get that enrollment figure up in the final lap. What do Republicans have to say about that?
Well, I think one of the things we need to point out is that we seem to have traded, the president wanted us to have diet counseling and birth control pills, but we gave up cancer coverage. And so every day I'm coming across a new story of someone, I think on Fox News, Josie Gracchi from New York had cancer, wanted to go to Sloan Kettering, was denied, had her surgery scheduled, and then was told she couldn't have it there. These cases go on and on. Tom Coburn, a senator here, has been going to MD Anderson. He will now have to pay out of pocket $33,000 per visit if he goes there. The stories are horrendous, and people need to realize the president is guaranteeing you diet counseling, but you're losing your cancer coverage.
And I'll tell you what, Senator, here's what's heartening. People are going to make their own decisions. It said cancer doesn't know if you're a Democrat or Republican. They'll know for sure. They won't wait for a 30-second ad to find out if this is working or not. And those are real-life stories. Senator, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, coming up straight ahead.